Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today we're going to be doing something just a bit different. Kind of different here. This past Monday was the newest episode of Gotham, and it's it's their last episode before their winter break, which normally starts in December and goes to January, but this time goes from January to April, but whatever. So I'm just going to be talking about kind of my thoughts on Gotham so far, sort of how they've progressed in their show and where I think they could go in the future. So this really isn't a review of Gotham right now. I probably will do a review of Season 3 when it finishes, but this is just this is just the current state of Gotham. In fact, I think that's going to be the title. So, where would the title be in relation to where I am? Here. Right here it should say, the current state of Gotham. And, of course, that's if you're not in full screen. If you are in full screen, start moving your mouse a bunch, and then it should say the current state of Gotham TV Ramble. And that's basically what this is I'm just going to be rambling here for a few minutes. I don't know how long I'm going to be. Probably not terribly long. Maybe 7 to 10 minutes, I hope. I don't know. On my timer it says I'm at 3 minutes, but that includes all the time that I cut out in the beginning of me setting up the camera and stuff. So, yeah. So let's talk Gotham. The latest episode of Gotham, The Gentle Art of Making Enemies. Excuse me. Or these past 3 episodes, at least, have been dealing with Jerome. And this has sort of been his little, arc in the middle of the season. So basically, Jerome was brought back to life. If you haven't been watching Gotham, then you're going to be completely lost. But he's been brought back to life, and now he's going to spread chaos through Gotham. He kind of creates the Purge, kind of because clock went off. That clock's going to go off in about 5 minutes. So anyway. He kind of, creates the Purge, I guess, because he shuts out, all power in Gotham. So, and everyone's just kind of going crazy. At least, it just kind of seemed very Purge-like to me. Except instead of being created by the government, it's created by Jerome, which makes a whole lot more sense, because Jerome is crazy. Now, if you really haven't been watching Gotham up to this point, first, I don't really know why you're watching this, but basically, to explain kind of who Jerome is, for those of you that don't really know, or you haven't been following the show that much, maybe you've caught a couple episodes or something, Jerome was introduced in Season 1, and he was just this kid who is his mother died, and they're trying to figure out who killed his mother. And it turns out he killed his mother, and he's really crazy. And when he's confronted by Jim Gordon, he gives off this crazy, sadistic kind of laugh. And people are like, wow, that was kind of like the Joker, almost. And so people are like, okay, is this guy the Joker? And hang on, I'm sorry. Okay, that was bugging me. Sorry, you're getting a little behind-the-scenes process of how I do some of this, but now I'm sorry, this is probably being cut out. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. You just wanted to tilt that a bit more forward, so I'm more in frame. So some people were like, okay, is this guy the Joker? If so, he was amazing at it. This laugh was amazing. He got the crazy down right. But it was only 1 or 2 episodes that he was in season 1. Comes back in season 2. He's broken out of Arkham, and dude is just balls to the wall crazy. Like, this guy, he's the Joker. There's like no doubt in anyone's mind that this guy is the Joker. But the writers don't think he's the Joker. The writers of the show say the Joker is not really a man, but more of a religion, which is stupid. And they said they don't want to have the Joker's origins be like concrete, and they want it to be more mysterious. So they say he's not the Joker, and then they kill him. Like, they just kill him off by Theo Gallivan. He was a terrible season villain, by the way. So he's dead. Everyone is pissed because he was amazing, and he was definitely the Joker. And yeah, there was a lot of backlash over how they handled Jerome. And eventually, the writer said, okay, maybe we should bring him back and maybe he should be the Joker. And, which is great, because he's a great Joker. They haven't called him the Joker yet, but I'm sure over time they will call him the Joker. But right now he's just Jerome. But in these recent 3 episodes, they've kind of kept some of their ideas in with the Joker, but still kept in Jerome as well. It's actually kind of interesting. So with the resurrection of Jerome, he's basically he has these acolytes, these disciples that they're all crazy too. And one of them is kind of the leader and trying to bring back Jerome and stuff. And at one point he can't bring Jerome back, and there's like a crowd of like acolytes there that want to see Jerome. They're ready to see him like right now. So this guy gets the idea, okay, they want to see Jerome, like they want to see Jerome's face. So he goes over to the body of Jerome that he's been trying to revive, and he cuts his face off. Face off. Anyway, so he does that, and he puts on the face as a mask. It's really gross. And he goes down, and he's like, you know, and they immediately catch he's not Jerome. He just is not Jerome, and that's going off. I'm going to take a drink while we take a break. Okay, we're back. But they all catch that he's not Jerome. And he basically says, like, you know, yes, I am Jerome and stuff, but I'm not just Jerome. You're Jerome. We are all carrying on Jerome's spirit. We are all Jerome, and they all kind of get it in their head that they're all Jerome. So in that aspect, I can see where the writers wanted to keep in there, like the Joker's a religion kind of thing, is that they're all kind of thinking that they are the Joker, but once Jerome is revived, there is a single solitary leader, and that's Jerome, the Joker now. Might as well be the Joker. He kidnaps Bruce Wayne again. That's what he was doing before he died, so he's like, you know what, I want to kidnap Bruce Wayne again. And he actually, like, it's really gross. He takes his face back from the guy, the leader of the acolytes, and like gets a staple gun and staples his face back on to his head. It's really like gross and creepy. But that's also out of the comics when the Joker cut off his own face and wore it as a mask, which is weird, but Joker. So we have this whole thing. He's kidnapped Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, they have excellent chemistry together, and it really does start to feel like a rivalry between Jerome, who now is like almost confirmed pretty much, even though they haven't called him this yet, but he's pretty much confirmed to be the Joker, and Bruce Wayne, who we already know is going to be Batman. And so they start butting heads and stuff, and eventually Bruce leads Jerome into a house of mirrors. And they eventually do get into a fight, and Bruce is like about to kill him. Like he's been punching the crap out of Jerome. His face is like coming off, and it's all gross. This is a very graphic episode. Episode 14 of season 3 is when this is happening. And so he's about to kill Jerome, and he looks up and sees himself in the mirror. And Jerome has like painted, like while they were, because they were at a carnival. While they were at a carnival, they kind of painted Bruce's face to look more like a clown. And so he sees himself with the clown makeup about to kill Jerome, and he realizes he's becoming Jerome. And so he backs off and he doesn't do it. And that is classic Batman. And so Bruce escapes. Jerome gets back up because he's not dead. And he walks out of the House of Mirrors, and Jim Gordon is there. Surprisingly, not a Jim-centered episode. Like he didn't do a lot in this episode, which is interesting. But yeah, we've had a lot of Jim, obviously, throughout the show because he's the main character. But Jim goes over, keeps punching Jerome, punches his face off, and it's all gory and ugh. It can really get to you. But I thought it was cool. And they arrest Jerome. They don't kill him. No one killed Jerome. They just arrest him. I think Harvey says doctors are sewing his face back up, and he's being sent off to Arkham. So, this brings us to the current state of Gotham, which is Bruce Wayne is now pretty much he's ready to become Batman. He has come up with his rule of never going to kill. He has this training. He knows what he wants to do pretty much. And he's going to try to become a vigilante. If you saw the previews, well, actually, I don't know if that was him or not. It could have been someone else. There was a scene in the preview of someone punching a guy, and I thought it looked like Bruce Wayne, but it was from a distance and in shadow, so I don't know. But yeah, so that's basically Bruce Wayne is like ready to become Batman, and he's still young, but and we'll kind of get into that in a minute. Now we have Jerome. We've had a side plot with Nigma, Edward Nigma, and the Penguin, which has kind of been resolved. I feel like they kind of allude that the Penguin died, but I don't think he's dead. But I'll go into that again in a second. And Nigma is ready to become like a full-fledged villain. And so now we're at this current state of Gotham where they could go a couple ways. And I'm basically going to tell you the way that I want them to go. So we have Jerome. He's the Joker. He just is the Joker. We have Nigma. He's pretty much ready to become the Riddler. We have Bruce Wayne, ready to become Batman pretty much. It's like, I kind of feel like Bruce Wayne should become Batman now. I know he's really young. He's still really young. He's a teenager, I believe. I'm not entirely sure on the character's age right now, but sorry, my freaking hair. Anyway, but he's still young. He's still a teenager. But I think what they should do is they need to put him in a suit. They need to make him Batman. If not this season, like maybe the rest of season 3, maybe he's still training, he's trying out some vigilante stuff, and then next season he puts on a suit or whatever, but he's got to do it. It's got to happen. Because there's such a long time between this point in Gotham and the earliest instance of the Batman. It's a long time. And I know the creators said that the last shot of Gotham is going to be Batman putting on the suit. But I think they need to just do their own thing at this point and just make him a Bat-teen. Like, teenagers are tall enough. He's tall enough. He can still be intimidating. You know, give him like a voice changer, like kind of like what Ben Affleck had in the movies, and put him in a cowl and make him a Bat-teen. I think they need to do that. They need to, because that's something we've never seen before. You know, what if Bruce Wayne started at such a young age. And it's like, that's interesting. Do something with that. Friggin' do something. It would be amazing if they did that. If they had something unexpected like that. Same with kind of killing off the Penguin, although I don't think they would ever kill off the Penguin. If they do, that's different. See how, or do something different with the Penguin now. It's like, maybe he is saved by penguins. Maybe he becomes Danny DeVito or something. I don't know. But you need to do something different. And this has kind of been my problem with Gotham, is that it's still a prequel series to all of Batman, which is fine. But they have every villain now. They have pretty much every villain except Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent he shows up every once in a while and he's like, I'm a lawyer, and that's it. Ooh. It's like, okay, we don't need to have him, but you have every other villain. You have Professor Strange, you have Mr. Freeze, you have the Riddler, you have the Penguin, you have the Joker, you have Poison Ivy now. Catwoman is there. She's Cat-teen, basically. You know, Cat Kid. That'd be interesting. We've never seen that. It's just one of those things where, this is just my problem, is that if we just try to keep going as a prequel, Batman never shows up, no incarnation of Batman shows up, there are no stakes for any of these characters because we know where they're going. And that should not be the case. It's kind of the same thing with the Star Wars prequels or with the Clone Wars series. There's not really stakes because you know Anakin's going to survive. You know Obi-Wan is going to survive. You even know Ahsoka's going to survive if you know Rebels or the book. It's a good book, by the way. I've been reading it. There are no stakes for these characters. Is it interesting? Of course it is, and it can be entertaining. Maybe not the movies, the prequel movies, but the Clone Wars, definitely. It can be interesting and entertaining, and can also be awful. But there are no stakes. You're never, like, on the edge of your seat, like, what's going to happen? And it's like, maybe you're just kind of like, okay, well, let's see what's going to happen, you know? You don't know how it's going to turn out. You just know that it's going to turn out some way. And that's kind of the thing with Gotham. Jim will survive. Harvey will survive. Friggin' Penguin, Riddler, Joker, Batman, Alfred. They'll all survive and they'll all be put where they are in... they'll all be put exactly in the place that they are when the Batman story begins. When Batman's story begins. And they shouldn't do that. Because I feel like, okay, season 1, you can do that. Season 2, you can do that. It's season 3. We need something different. Especially if you start bringing in the Riddler. If you make him the Riddler. So the Riddler's just going to go loose for so long? Like, until Batman becomes a man? Until Bruce Wayne becomes a man? No, don't do that. You need to just need to do something different. Because if you have the Riddler be the main villain of a season, and he's stopped by Jim Gordon, that's great. But then what's the point of Batman? Because now you have a problem where Jim Gordon beats all the bad guys, and then something goes wrong, something has to go wrong somewhere, and they need Batman. And it can't be that Jim Gordon dies, because Jim Gordon is in Batman. He's the commissioner. So there are no stakes right now. And if they just started doing their own thing, if they just did whatever they wanted with these characters and with these stories, that would be far more interesting. There would be stakes. You know, you would wonder, is Jim going to die? Is Alfred going to die? There's something that would be interesting. Bruce Wayne without Alfred. Or Bruce Wayne becomes Batman at a young age. Or all this kind of stuff. They're kind of already doing that too. Because they killed off Maroni in season 1. And they brought in... they kind of made Barbara evil. Barbara Keene evil. Which, she's the worst character. I don't like that. I don't like that character. But it's still something different. And that's just kind of what they need, is to do something different. So, this kind of went on a little longer than I thought it would, but that's just what happens when you ramble. So that's kind of the current state of Gotham and what I think they can do with Gotham. If you got anything out of this at all, if you interpreted any of what I just said, congratulations, you've made it to the end of the episode. If you did make it to the end of the episode, I don't know. Just golf clap, you made it. Yeah, that's basically it. I know this kind of almost abruptly ended, but that's kind of it. End cards are popping up right now. So, yeah, there's not a whole lot else to say. Yeah. I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.